of the daily grind. Oh, you guys can't hear my. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. I don't know why you couldn't hear the clapping. We're going to clap again. We're clapping again. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, a Tuesday edition of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about EA. We got a couple of stories about EA. We got EA CEO says company values will remain unchanged and under the new ownership of Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner's investment firm. Hold on one second, guys. I'm still messing with my microphone over here because it sounds a little too hot. We're also going to talk about former BioWare lead writer reads the runes of EA's Saudi Arabia deal and speculates that guns and football are in gay stuff is out. And the venerable RPG studio may be for the chop. And then we're going to talk about the AI industry's latest curse on humanity is a fake actress. It wants to turn into the next Scarlett Johansson. All this and more. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. How's it going, chat? What's going on, Mo? What's going on, El Nini, Sarge, Altern, Eclipse, Roic, Water Bear, Para, what's going on? Who am I missing? Scrolling down. Worlds, good morning. Kylo, good morning. Jesse, what's going on? I think that's everybody. What's going on? Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. I was running a little late this morning. I was having breakfast at my local cafe, and a gentleman came in, and we just started bullshitting. I found a nerd just like me, where he was talking to someone about Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and then I started talking to him about Deadpool, and then we started talking about video games, and then we started talking about we went into like a 45-minute conversation. I lost track of time, and I still had to go pick up stuff for my wife for breakfast because it's her birthday today, and I completely lost track of time. So it's a good conversation this morning. So he might be in chat because he wanted to know what my channel's name was. So if he's here, welcome. So what's going on, everybody? Yeah, I noticed a lot of people talking about the deal, but not talking about the deal. 30 made a friend. Yeah. $120 regular price at EA Games incoming. Yeah, there's something. The other shoe is going to drop. Okay, the other shoe is going to drop. You know what I want to do? Because I think I figured it out. I'm going to bring in my other music real fast. Because I got a new audio mixer last week. So we're gonna see if this works. Real quick, I'm gonna play music. It might be a little loud. Let me lower the music. All right. And let me play the Helldivers one real fast. Oh, see, that's still coming through. Why is that not coming through that one? I got to figure out why it's coming through the system, but it's not coming through. Yeah, we'll just stop that. I'll have to figure that out afterwards. I thought for some reason it would come through, but it's for some reason it's in a completely different channel. So we'll have to figure that out later. All right. 2 Madden release a year. Yeah, the first half, and then they sell you a full price game again, Jason, for the roster update for the second half, the playoff version. That's what it is. It'll be Madden and then the Madden playoff edition. You know? It might sound crazy, but yeah, Waterbear says, Jason, Madden 26 and Madden 26 version 2, May 26th and August of 2026. No, you're thinking way too far apart. It would be August, and then it would be like December. That's exactly what it'll be. The playoff edition. You two can now play. I joked about it last night. Krebsy came in while we were playing Helldivers, And I was like, imagine EA basically takes the thing and like, so the ultimate teams that happen, right? The ultimate teams, and you like trade a character over to somebody else. And it's like the character costs $25,000 or something inside the game, right? It costs you, like you take off the zeros, it'll cost you $25 to require that player. That guy costs $25,000 in game, which is $25 in real currency, and you have to pay real money to draft the person. Don't think they're not thinking about this, right? Android Wilson was like, yeah, I think we could do this. I think that people would do this. 100%. Dolphin says, Madden will sell you the playoffs. That's right. That's right. They will sell you the playoffs. What's going on, Dolphin? What's going on, Jesse? Yeah, and FIFA. 8 Super Bowl edition. That's right. Ron Slusher. What's going on, Ron? Madden Kart Racer. Maybe. Who knows? Right. So let's start off with this one. Let's start off. Oh. So we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Right? So EA CEO says company's values will remain unchanged under the new ownership of Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner's investment firm. I have a question. Is Jared Kushner's investment firm called Jared Kushner's investment firm? I don't think it is. This right here is how you know that articles and people have an agenda before you even read the article, right? Because Jared Kushner, obviously we know, is Donald Trump's son-in-law. If you didn't know that, there you go. Okay. So instead of just saying the company firm that he's with, that the investment firm is, they keep putting Jared Kushner's investment firm. They keep pushing that into all the news articles that I've seen. I'm like, why do they keep saying Jared Kushner's investment firm? Right? They already have a predetermined thing that they're trying to say before they say it. Okay. Another thing is, what the hell is company values for EA? Milk you dry? Dolphin says, I actually didn't know that. But think about this, Dolphin. Why would they say Jared Kushner's investment firm? Obviously, you didn't know who Jared, right? But why would they say Jared Kushner's investment firm? Right? Why don't they just say the investment firm that he's with? Right? The narrative right there is it's Trump's fault. Exactly, right, Sarge? Right. It's Trump's fault. That's the narrative. Aku says it's Infinity Partners for the investment firm. They're obligated to let you know it's related to Trump. Yeah, I'm sure that's somewhere in the rule book there. Dolphin says my real name is Jared. Oh well, there you go. It's your firm. It's your firm. I just think it's funny, right? And what do you guys think, chat? Let me know what you guys think. EA CEO says the company's values. What do you think the values are for EA? Money. Our values is to make a shit ton of money. That's above their doorway when you walk in. You park your car, you get out, you start walking in, you look up and you go, our values, shit ton of money. That's what it says across the board as you walk through the doorway. Okay. In an email to employees, Andrew Wilson thanked them for making EA's historic deal possible. Para says the value of EA after debt is $34 billion. Right? Can you imagine they paid off $20 billion? And I think JP Morgan, right, paid for that. Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson, Android Wilson, says that the company's acquisition made by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund and Jared Kushner's Infinite Partners investment firm, again, they can just say Infinite Partners, right? Affinity Partners investment. They don't have to say Jared Kushner. Okay, again, but whatever. And a private equity firm Silver Lake represents. How come they're not telling me a name before the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund? And how come they're not telling me a name before the Silver Lake represents? Okay, new era of opportunity. And that's our value, right? Of a commitment for players and fans around the world remain unchanged, which is a shit ton of money. Wilson shared a sentiment, okay, in a memo sent to the employees shortly after the deal, valued at $55 billion, has made public. Okay, he says, quote, This moment is recognition of your creativity and innovation of your passion, Wilson said. You have built some of the world's most iconic IPs and created stories that have inspired global communities and helped shape culture through interactive experiences. Everything we have achieved and everything that lies ahead is because of you. Now, this is to the employees, not because of you guys. He doesn't give a shit about you guys. Okay. Real quick, Aku with the 32 months says, your mama's so fat it makes 32 months of subbing look thin. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for the 32 months. Appreciate you. Okay. He says, quote, we are entertaining new era of opportunity. This is one of the, I should read it in his voice, right? I should read it in his voice, right? We are entertaining a new era of opportunity. This is one of the largest, most significant investments ever made in the entertainment industry, right? Android Wilson, our new partner bring deep experience across sports, gaming, and entertainment. And they're also committed to the convictions of EA. They believe in our people, our leadership, and the long-term vision we all built together. They stop with this. This is so much corporate BS. Let me translate this for you, right? We're gonna translate this for you. Okay. We are entertaining a new era of opportunity. We are taking a boatload of money from people overseas, and we're going to make them a crap ton of money as well. This is one of the largest and most significant investments ever made. This is the most ridiculous amount of money we've ever seen, and we're going to take it. Okay. Our new partners bring deep experience across sports, gaming, and entertainment. Our new partners know absolutely nothing about anything about video games across sports, gaming, and entertainment. They're looking to invest their money because they're trying to get away from oil, and they're committed to conviction of EA. They just want to make a boatload of money. And they believe in our people, our leadership, and our long-term vision of how to build together. First of all, they believe in our people only if you make a shit ton of money for them. If not, you will get cut like third period French, okay? You will get let go, laid off. See you later. Not doing anything for us. Our leadership, Android Wilson's staying there. And if he doesn't, he gets a golden parachute as he goes along. Okay? And long-term vision, we are now building together, which is AI, by the way, which is AI. It says, I'm not sure how much deep experience the new partners in reality, new owners, really bring to the table. They bring zero. Infinity Partners, here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. This is not, this. You don't need to know this, right? This doesn't make the deal different or not different, okay? Infinity Partners is owned by Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, whose best of my knowledge is not a big video game aficionado, but does have significant financial involvement with Saudi Arabia, perhaps most notably a $2 billion investment in Infinity Partners made by PIF just 6 months after Kushner left his role senior advisor to the president during the first Trump administration. Okay, just to let you know, the Saudi Arabian company, remember Embracer Group, right? They're the ones that did the $2 billion investment to Embracer Group that fell through. And then Embracer fell through because they couldn't afford everything, right? This is what happens when you have a private company and then another private company was coming in to buy the stuff. Okay, the PIF is also known for being a big player in gaming and esports with holdings directly through the Savvy Games Group subsidiary in Capcom, Embracer, ESL, Nexon, Nintendo, Take-Two, and more. It's also faced accusations that it's using their priorities or properties as a form of sports watching or sports washing. All right, the distraction from the human rights record, as well as more specific allegations, such as finding multiple Western intelligence agencies that Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also the chairman of PIF, ordered the murder and dismemberment of journalists, okay, in the 2018. Now, Saudi Arabia has also faced allegations of sports washing. Is actually, I don't know why I can't say that. Sports washing, okay, is actual sports, most notably PIF's controversial takeover of Newcastle United FC in 2021. Connect the pieces, huh? Connect the pieces. It's interesting how EA wanted to not work with FIFA because they didn't want to give them $500 million over 10 years because they were making a boatload of money off of FIFA. $500 million. Remember, EA made $4 billion just this year, and the year's not over yet. Okay. But back in 2021, I think they made like $2.7 billion, give or take a couple million. Okay. And instead of doing the deal with FIFA, they did the deal with FC. Huh. That's kind of weird how Saudi Arabia, that had a 10% stake in EA at the time, now that owns EA, did a deal with FC instead of going a deal with FIFA. Just putting it out there, just connecting the dots, right? The news, which also begins to break yesterday, has caught the gaming industry by surprise, partly because nothing about the immediately screams potential of exciting synergies. In the same way that you might argue about the megabucks deals like Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard or Sony acquisition of Bungie, although your mileage may vary on how those have turned out. It also begs the question of what is in store for EA's non-sports games, particularly the likes of its RPG output. While still Wilson said that they predicted bold, fruitful future for EA. Okay, it says our values and our commitment to our players and fans around the world remain unchanged. That's right. They're still going to charge you a crap ton of stuff for the Ultimate Teams and all the other stuff. Okay, Wilson wrote, with continued rigor and optional excellence, we can amplify the creativity of our teams, accelerate our innovation, and pursue a transformative opportunities that position EA to lead to the future of entertainment. Are they building video games? Or are they trying to take over the world? Right? Together, we create the experience that is bold, expressive, and deeply connected to inspire generations of players. What inspiration does FIFA give you? What inspiration does Madden give you? What inspiration does what's another Dragon Age Veilguard? What's the inspiration from that? Right? It says that the large meaningless. I find it a bit interesting too. He says, talk about amplifying creativity and accelerating innovative, large meaningless, but it does bring up my mind thoughts of AI. All and wonderful things of C-suites executives think, or hope, or wish it could do in a place of actual creative people. 100%, right? In the next couple of years, hell, let's be honest, in the next couple of months, people are going to get replaced by AI. Okay, we'll have conversations about that a little bit later in the show. Wilson previously expressed great enthusiasm for a potential impact of AI on game development in 2024 when he took to a big bong rip, figuratively, you understand, before waxing poetic about billions of people around the world creating personal content, expanding and enhancing the universes that we create. And we also, how to use it to make a company 30% more effective, meaning 30% more rich, okay? Which we've been following along any length of time. You also recognize as also a way of saying layoffs. That's right. Layoffs will happen from this. For now, though, Wilson, who remains in his position as CEO after the deal is done, for some time at least, is grateful for the people at EA who also made $55 billion buyout possible. And surely not just because he and other senior management would likely have to have been sat out of seizable stock options before the sale happened. Okay. It says, thank you for your creativity and the comment of passion to bring EA every day, he wrote. This is a historical moment. You know how much money he probably got paid out? Okay. This is a bunch of like jargon. Okay. This man, he's smirking like that because he was making billions before, but now he got paid out, or he will get paid out a crap ton of other money because of this. Okay. This is the man that's brought you surprised mechanics. This is the guy who brought you the Ultimate Team and changed Madden and FIFA and every other sports game known to man. This is the guy right here. This is why he's smirking. He's smirking because he's making I would smirk like that too if I was making billions of dollars. Okay. This right now, a lot of people are not going to talk about it. This is a terrible, terrible deal. Not for EA, obviously, but for gamers. Okay, these guys are going to want to make their money back as fast as possible. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. They're going to want to make their money back as fast as possible. They're going to try to milk you in many different directions. Okay, they're going to take your brands that you love or you think you love. They're going to sign deals with these people. If there's another Battlefield 3, Battlefront 3, if there's other games that are coming down the pipeline, more Marvel games, they will use this. And they will milk the thing that you love because they want to make their billions of dollars as fast as possible back. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think of Jared Kushner's investment firm? Not the actual name. They only named the investment firm once in this article. Once. They named Jared Kushner like 3 or 4 times in the article. Okay. So I like to connect the points, though, between Saudi Arabia and FC, right? Because, again, Saudi Arabia, they take over Newcastle United FC in 2021. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Newcastle, which is a, United Kingdom team, got bought out by the Saudi Arabians. Okay, that's gotta be bad if you're from over there, right? You're like, what the hell? Okay, like your own people don't even own the team from there, right? That happens all the time over here. We have so many different people that own different sports teams, right? Because what are you gonna do when you want to sell to someone and someone can't buy it? You got to sell it to someone that can buy it from you, and that's when you start going outside. Okay, but I think that connection is weird, since they're one of the biggest teams, if not the biggest team of popularity out there, right? And they're part of the FC. And instead of going with FIFA, they went with FC. But who knows, right? If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We appreciate you very much. Check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right. Ray, thank you very much. He says, now we know why Lean Khan got fired by Trump. $2. Super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, they fired him because of they were setting up the pieces. Right? Instead of people just looking at it for what it is, they have an agenda before they even write the article. Right? Do you think if I own Infinity Group, right? Do you think they would say 30 NSGs? Investment firm? No, they wouldn't say that. They would just tell you the investment firm. But there's an agenda there. There's an agenda that they do. Let's see. I appreciate that, Aku. It says that it's the largest deal in gaming of all time. What the fuck are you talking about? EA Sports is being acquired. EA Sports is being acquired. Dustin, what are you behind like a day? We already talked about this. We literally talked about it. Waterbear says, I blame the tariffs. Yeah. Hold on a second. Where I have it.
Well, I walked in the store with my wallet in hand, looking for a console like a true gamer stand. Saw the price tag and I nearly went blind. Said, why this PS6 cost more than my ride? Click said, don't be mad, don't make a fuss. It's not our fault, blame the previous POTUS. I said, what? He said, yeah, it's true. Trump's tariffs got the prices going through the roof. So blame it on the tariffs, baby, every single cent. That Switch Pro's price tag, that's where it went. Xbox costing more than my college degree, cause Trump's tariffs hit the HDMI, allegedly. So next time your wallet feels the burn, remember tariffs took a left-hand turn.
Crowded House says, where was it? Where did you put it? I just read it. I missed it. Oh, in case anyone forgot, Jared Kushner. Yeah, it's Jared Kushner's investment firm. Yeah, don't forget that. World says, oh my God, Trump is trading EA for oil, guys. Aku says, I wonder how many companies are going to be going towards private after EA. I said it yesterday. This is a flare up. This is a flare gun up in the sky. People are going to see this, and more companies are going to go under, because what's happening here is less people are buying games. Less people are buying games, and they can't keep sharing numbers and stuff like that, because we look at numbers and say, oh, you sold 5 million copies. Well, your game, 5 million copies sounds fantastic, but when your game costs $500 million, 5 million copies is not going to cut it, right? And again, gamers, you're like, well, why should gamers care? Gamers shouldn't care what they sell. No, we don't care if the game sells or doesn't sell, but what we do care about is when companies lie. We care when anyone lies to us directly to our faces and says that this is popular and it's not popular. This movie is #1 at the box office. This is the best-selling book. This video game is the best-selling video game of this week, right? Like, they want to hide as many things as possible. Look at Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't share any numbers. So even if you wanted to scrutinize Microsoft, you do not know the numbers. You don't know the numbers of Game Pass. You don't know the numbers of actual game sales. You don't know the numbers. They just show you, because they're publicly traded, they say, hey, this digital thing is profitable. We are profitable, right? There is so many things that go behind the scenes of a company where they can shift and move numbers to make this number look positive, okay? Now, I'm not saying Microsoft is the only one that does this. No, corporations do this all the time. We hate being lied to. Nobody here likes being lied to. And if say you do, you're lying, okay? Because nobody wants to be lied to. Everyone wants to be straight up. Just tell it how it is. This game's good, right? When you see a game that takes off and it's good, you know it's good because they tell you it's good and you know it's good because you played it or you see it, you feel it, right? That's what happens. When someone tells you this is the #1 movie at the box office and you go to the movies and nobody's watching it, you're like, something feels a little odd here, right? When someone says a system is selling like hotcakes and you go to the store and they have stuff on the shelf, something feels a little off, right? And this stuff used to work beautifully when nobody had smartphones and the internet didn't exist. Because when someone said something, you had to believe it because there was no way to prove them otherwise. But now we all have all information to us at all times. So when someone lies or a company lies or someone says something, we're like, oh, let's see about that. Nope, sorry, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Let's see here. Mark says Veilguard lost Dragon Age dark tone. It felt like it was also putting kitty gloves on. Just one of the many, many issues with them. Those are the nice issues that you're talking about. Eclipse says, sorry, but people that still support EA, good luck to you. And then the CEO said that you also would love to sell people bullets to reload as I was done with EA. Yeah, they'll get that. Don't worry. Titan says Saudi is also investing big in esports too. Buying EA makes sense. Yes and no. To be honest though, you don't really need to buy the esports through EA. You could have just they would make their percentage off of that regardless. Right? Because if they're holding the actual tournaments or they own the league or whatever it is and they're playing Madden, you don't have to pay a fee or anything to that. They just buy the copies and then do the thing. Morning, Wonder Rose. Titan says, using someone's name as political clickbait. They do it because they have a narrative, Titan. Instead of just telling the deal what it is, they have to, why aren't they naming anyone else's name? Or expecting another price increase from Sony too? Oh, 100%. 100%. They have to. Everyone's going to do it, right? Let's not misconstrue this. Game Pass will rise in price. We talked about this months and months and years ago. It's going to go up in price. They're going to hit a point where they're like, oh, look, this is what we want, but we need to make more money, so it's going to go from 20 to 22 or 20 to 25 or whatever it is, right? When the sub-services, once they're done collecting the cash from people buying consoles, and they see a number going up, they're like, oh, more people are playing on television sets. More people are playing on the mobile phones. Let's raise the price of Game Pass. They will do that. And then PlayStation will raise their price, and Netflix will raise their price, and EA will raise their price. All these people will raise their price. Because they'll be like, oh, well, there's trying times, and we're going to have to raise the price because of tariffs. Right? This has been the only generation of consoles to increase prices after being out for 5 years, a.k.a. it's ass backwards. Yeah, they're making money on the actual consoles, and now they know they're not going to make money in the future, so they're trying to, squeeze a little bit out of the people that came late to the party. Well, to them, less and less people are going to buy late to the party. They'll just wait. They'll buy the PlayStation 5 Pro and the Xbox Series X when the PlayStation 6 and the other Xbox come out. right? And they have to remove the stock off the shelves. That's what they'll do. Ray says, Saudis saved Mass Effect 5. I don't know if they saved it. Bat says, the Saudis is a very bad investment or investor in gaming or any industry. Let's see. Sarge says it's guaranteed that Game Pass goes up 100%. Roic says just going to wait and see what happens. I don't have a good expectations, but I can wait and see which direction they decide to go. Ron says whoever lowers the price first wins. Or loses, Ron. Right? Think about this. Because let's say Sony says, you know what, we're going back to our $500 price tag. Right? And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy that. That's a win. But then all of a sudden the other guy comes in and says, we're gonna go to $450. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, I could buy that for $450, right? So I don't know. I think you're right, though. I think the one that first lowers it gets a swath of sales, right? Because it's like sticker shock. It's like, oh my God, it was $800, now it's $500. We're going to go buy it, maybe. But obviously they're not going to drop it that much. Paris says, my sadness, my heart goes out to Lionhead Studios. Fable 1, 2, and 3 were a blessing. They got eaten up. They got eaten up and destroyed, right? The only people angry about EA's buyout are Americans and the sim community. I don't know if it's the only people. I think a lot of people are more upset. I'm upset that an American company got bought out from it's going in with an American company and non-American companies. But I'm upset that America keeps selling off their companies. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, right? Like, American brand companies are not even owned by American companies anymore. John Deere, Harley Davidson, Budweiser, right? There's a lot of companies that were built by Americans, but now sold. And I get it. I totally get it. Like, if I was a business owner and I got to a certain point and I'm like, I want to sell my company. And they're like, who's going to buy it? And everyone in America is like, I don't have the money for it. And they're like, well, I guess I have to go elsewhere. And someone's like, hey, I'm interested. And you're like, yeah, I want to get out of the business. Let me sell the shit, right? And they sell it. And a lot of people, this is not EA's position, but a lot of people that own a company that they built from the ground up, like let's say your grandfather built it from the ground up, and then their kids took it over, but then their kids, like your father died, you're the grandkid. Now you're taking over. You're like, I have no interest in this shit, right? And they're like, I'm just going to sell it off, right? And then they sell it off because they don't care. They didn't build anything. They were handed a company, and they're like, I can make billions of dollars. Yeah, I'll sell it. The direction of who? EA? They go in the direction of cash. That's right. Bat says 30. Did you think Saudi will buy out some indie game studios? It's funny that you say that, Bat. Right before stream started, I think Water Bear said something about AA games or whatever. And in my head, I was just like, yeah, until it's like a conversation I had this morning with this guy I talked to at the cafe. He was talking about Deadpool, right? And I said, are you a big Deadpool fan? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not he's like, I hate now that Deadpool is so mainstream. He's like, I'm a Deadpool fan from when it was before it was cool. Okay. Because he was talking about the movie and stuff like that. And what happens is when the geeks had their thing, right? Talk about like niche communities, right? You could talk about Star Wars, you could talk about Marvel, whatever it is, right? You have your niche community. It is what it is. But then when it goes mainstream and other people are like, I'm a fan, not to take anything away from those people that like the movie or show or character, but there is a difference between someone that was a huge fan before, knows everything about that character. There's a lot of you guys in here about comic books and know way more, right? Oh, like a casual, right? I know, I love the brand, but I don't know the intricates of each character and their birth, where they're from and their superpowers and stuff like that, right? You guys are way more in tune with that. But the fact that someone comes along and is like, I'm a fan of this, they're not. They basically dilute the factor of Deadpool or something else, right? So going back to your question about indie games right now, I don't see someone buying out an independent company like a guy who made Tunic for like $1 billion. But I do see them giving money to these companies to make a game for them or whatnot and to invest in it. And they might take it. It all depends on what their integrity is. Okay. If they want to take that money or investment from whatever. But I do see the people that are not gamers, because what's going to happen is a lot of gamers are not going to buy the AAA games because they keep going this route. They keep going this route of big corporations thinking they know what people want, and the people will push back, and then they'll go down to the AA games and the indie games, and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, let's buy those games," right? Because they don't know what they don't know what we want. They don't know what we like. They only know what's liked, right? They're like, "Oh, they like WWE. We should buy WWE. Oh, they like MMA. We should buy MMA. Oh, they like Star Wars. We should buy Star Wars," right? They don't have any kind of mindset to know what we, the consumers, like. They only know what's sold, and they're like, we got them, right? They don't drill anywhere. They only drill where there's oil, okay? Well, they don't just buy companies up to just buy companies up. They buy the companies because they know where the oil is, okay? And the oil is us. The oil is our information. The oil for them now is our information, what you're buying, what you're interested in, and that's what it is. Right? So they will, at one point, buy the AA studios. They will invest in indie studios because that's where you'll be going. But is it worth the price? Is it worth them for the small little pieces, right? When you're a big conglomerate company, the little things is not worth it because they can do something else and make a shit ton of money 100 times faster than if they had a small company and built it up. They don't have the time for that. They don't have the time for that. Roic says, isn't that a thing in China or Japan? They can sell their companies to others if they are in the same country. China will not sell their companies unless they partner with someone in China. So if an American company wants to buy, they have to partner with them. Okay. They cannot just go buy a company in China. Okay. They won't let them. They won't let them do it. But in the United States, capitalism, baby. So biggest price tag wins. I will sell my company to you for the right price tag. Ray says, I'm Canadian. I'm accustomed to see all of its successful business being sold by other countries. Varber says it's probably who said that this is why I prefer AA, the indies nowadays. I concur. Oh, what was it? Was it Brain? The statement, India and smaller devs are winning now. To Mr. Luke. Cadbury and Chocolate Company was also an English company. It's now owned by the U.S. owner, and also have cut the amount of I'm assuming like cocoa that is in the bars. That can also be called chocolate anymore because it's less than 23%. Are they owned? Is Cadbury owned by Hershey's? And is Hershey's still owned by the United States? Is Cadbury owned by Hershey's? I have to look that up. I'm not too sure. I don't know if that's the same company you're talking about. If they bought Cadbury. I guess I could look it up. Let's look it up. Molds International. Cadbury is a British multi-company owned by Moldes. I don't even know how do you pronounce that. Let me bring this up. How do you pronounce that? Moldsy International. Second largest brand in the world after Mars. Cadbury is the headquarters in London. So there you go. I think that's, but it's also, let's see, Hershey Company was founded. No. Yeah, so Cadbury is owned by a English company still. At least that's what it looks like. Oh no, spun off from. Oh, it's a spun off from Kraft's Foods. Kraft is owned by Heinz. There it is. So see, you got to go down the rabbit hole, right? Now, is Heinz owned, merged with Heinz, merged to arranged Heinz owner Berkshire Hathaway, completed by July of 2015. Former Kraft and Heinz, the fifth largest food beverage company in the world. Kraft Food Group. Yeah. So you see, you can go down the rabbit hole and figure out that, oh yeah, look, this is not owned by that, and that goes into this, and this goes into that. Oh, let me take this off. Let's see here. From the devs who brought you Power Wash Simulator, you get ready for Oil Drilling Simulator. I mean, I'm there for it. I'll be honest, Worlds. You get something like Power Wash, but it's an oil rig simulator. I might have to try it out, especially if it's on Game Pass. And Hines is owned by BlackRock, and it's also known who owns BlackRock. Yep. Well, Vanguard owned EA. Right? That's who owned EA. All right, going from that to this story, which is former BioWare lead writer reads the runes. Is that the correct? Reads the runes on EA's Saudi Arabia deal and speculates that the guns and football are in. Gay stuff is out. And that variable RPG studios may be for the chop. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just have conversations. I give you my thoughts and opinions on the article that we read for the first time on stream. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. So former BioWare lead writer reads the runes on EA's Saudi Arabia deal and speculates that the guns and football are in. Gay stuff is out, and a variable RPG studio may be for the chop. Okay, the rumors have been swirling for a while before today brought a major industry announcement that EA struck a $55 billion deal to go private. The Saudi Arabia-backed buyout is the biggest leveraged buyout in history, meaning that they also have a new, is instantly saddled with $20 billion of debt and will face the intense pressure to crack those profits. That's right. And it's also the latest step in a Saudi Arabia investment fund mission to sports wash the brutal regime by using the influence and ubiquitous across entertainment industries to distract from one of the world's most appalling human rights abuse. Okay. As the crack team at PCG Towers discussed the deal, one line stuck with me. He says, quote, I wouldn't want to be sitting in a BioWare chair right now. The vibes around one of the all-time great RPG studios have not been good in recent years, and fairly decent Dragon Age Veilguard didn't persuade anyone that the studio is capable of surprising contemporary greats like Baldur's Gate 3 or Disco Asylum. Okay, earlier this year, the studio was apparently cut to the bone in around the layoffs, though the Mass Effect game remains in development for now. Everyone who has also ever loved a BioWare game, which surely is an awful lot of us, is probably feeling quite gloomy about the studio's prospects. I'll be honest with you. I love Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect 1, love Mass Effect 2. Not so much of 3, but I like the series. 1, 2, and 3, right? I even enjoyed Andromeda. But if I never, ever see another Mass Effect game, I'm okay with that. Because I experienced what I experienced, okay? I don't need another Mass Effect game. I can go back and play the Mass Effect games that are already out, okay? So I personally don't care if the next Mass Effect game gets made or not. I don't. Because again, these companies are trying to milk you because they can't make anything new. They have to keep going back to the well, right? Keep going back to the well because that's what they think that you like. They're like, well, what about that Mass Effect game? That sold really well, right? And they keep going back to the well because it's cheaper for them to do, okay? They already know what it is, okay? And they would rather go back to the well instead of making something new, right? Well, you can have your Mass Effect. I don't care if BioWare closes down. I don't. There's so many companies that I loved in the past that made games that I love that they don't exist anymore. They don't exist anymore. That doesn't take anything away from my memories of a game I played that the company no longer exists. In a market, the free market, okay, companies fold all the time. They're successful and they fail. No company is better than their customers that they make them. If it wasn't for the customers buying the product, whatever that is, I don't care if you're making light switches or if you're making video games, okay? Your customers are what make your company. And if it wasn't for customers, you wouldn't have a company. You make a product, we buy that product, we like that product, we buy more of that product. when you start just making stuff because you already have this, you already have this, this baked in audience, okay? That's when I'm out, right? Just like I said earlier, when something people love and then it becomes mainstream and people are like, oh yeah, did you buy this? Do you have this? Right? A perfect example of this is what's the thermos? The thermos that everyone loves now. The stain the hell is that called? It's like stainless steel. It's the I forget what it's called, right? Follow me here, okay? That was made fucking 40 years ago, 50 years ago, people bought it, right? Construction workers, Stanley, thank you, right? Stanley thermoses, okay? 50 years ago, people used it, this is what construction workers used, and now every mom is buying it for their kid or for anybody else because it's the chic thing, it's the Instagram thing, it's the thing, and now it's this huge conglomerate type of stuff, right? That's when it goes from niche to popular, and then they shit on it, and then just kind of milk it dry as much as they can, okay? $12 thermos, now that's $50. Exactly right, right? Because they already know there's a fan base, and they're like, oh, well, if they paid this much, they'll do this. That's what these conglomerate companies do all the time, okay? So it says everyone who has ever loved BioWare game, which is also truly an awful lot of us. I read that part, sorry. It says Patrick Weeks, who goes by Trick Weeks, was the writer of BioWare from 2005 to 2025, working across various Mass Effect Dragon Age titles, and was the lead writer of Dragon Age Veilguard. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, okay? They recently took the blue sky, thinking coverage, this whole statement right here tells you all you need to know, by the way. Dragon Age Veilguard writer recently took to Blue Sky, all right, linking the coverage of EA's Saudi Arabia deal alongside imaginary conversations that goes like, buyers, so your games, guns, and football, yes? Mostly guns and football, yep. Buyers, no gay stuff, no politics, we're not going to like it, okay? So he says, definitely not. We can also give them, me 1 second, I just need to shut down the studio real quick, okay? Weeks was one of the laid off at the start of the year, so he can afford to be frank, while anyone else is still at BioWare still has no doubt of deleting all social media apps, lest temptation win out. Okay, well, obviously, I think he's a little bitter too, right? Right? A little bitter. As for fans, a quick look at the Mass Effect subreddit. I mean, I would be bitter too, right? Because you've been with the company for 20 years, and then all of a sudden you got laid off. It's probably because you were the most expensive person there, and they had to get rid of you, right? As for the fans, a quick look at Mass Effect subreddit shows the top thread of acquisitions is called simply, "It's over, Commander." We seem to see every fan of the series bracing for bad news. The only slight notes of positivity are those who think that EA might sell BioWare, but honestly, who's lining up to buy a AAA studio that hasn't had a major hit since arguably Mass Effect 3? I could think of two, right? I could think of two people that would pick up BioWare just for the Mass Effect IP. One, Sony, because they've said in the past they don't have enough IPs and they need more IPs. Two, Microsoft, because why not? They can take that, throw it onto Game Pass. Okay, they don't care, right? Because it'll make money for them. Value is there for them as well. So if EA wanted to sell off BioWare, they could, or they could just close them. Right? EA's Saudi deal was also announced today, and we're also going to be watching the fallout from this for years to come. It doesn't bode well for the fans of EA series, really, but BioWare especially. This could be, where they get closed down as essential. And again, I don't care. I don't care if BioWare closes. I don't care if Activision closes. I don't care if Blizzard closes. It doesn't matter to me, because you know what? When this one falls, another one rises. Okay, it doesn't matter. You make a good game. I don't care if you're a single A developer, if you're a double A developer, if you're a triple A developer, right? Activision was a single independent developers, okay? And then they became this multi-conglomerate company because they kept growing, right? At some point down the road, a company that just starts will always grow to a size that they can't recognize anymore. And they sell theirs to someone else. And then those people grow it to a certain point, and then they get rid of it to somebody else. And it gets glumped into a mega corporation. And then the mega corporation's like, all right, we got this for the juices. We got this for the brand. We got this for the IP. We got this for whatever. Let's spit it out, send it off. We're done with it, right? What happened to Bullfrog? Right? What happened to what's the studio that made I can't remember it now. SimCity, right? Right? They don't exist anymore. Right? They chew them up, spit them out. That's what they do. So what would be the difference of Saudi Arabia coming in, chewing up and spitting out things that they don't want in their thing, right? Hell, they could even just be like, yeah, whoever worked on this, we don't believe in that. We don't believe Maxis. Thank you very much, Titan. Okay. Right? Gone. Right? They don't care. They absolutely don't care. So this guy seems a little bit pissed off. I would be too. 20 years with the company, and now you're not there anymore. Tell it how it is. You know what I mean? Exactly right, Pat. It's like Xbox buying Halo franchise. Well, it's a little different, actually. It's a little different. Okay? Because if it wasn't for Microsoft giving Bungie a chance, they might not even be. They had games beforehand, okay? But Xbox signed them because they made games for Apple. And not many people gamed on Apple back in the day. Microsoft approached Bungie and got them to make Halo, which used to be like a top-down, okay? And then they made it into that first person, right? So that's a little different because Microsoft invested in Bungie early on, and then they're like, hey, if you're going to leave, you got to give us Halo. And they're like, all right, you can have Halo. We have this other project we worked on. And they're lucky. Bungie's lucky that they said, oh, well, you created Destiny while you were with us, but it was called something else, I believe, right? They created it because there's actually a picture of, was it ODST or Reach, where you actually saw the Traveler inside of that, right? They could have easily said anything you made while you were with us, we own. But obviously they didn't do that. Pear says, does everyone remember when Mass Effect 3 released? It was the largest marketing campaign in gaming. They sent copies around the globe using balloons and sent a copy to space. I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Roic says, it's the Yeti coolers. I'm not paying that much for a cooler. And it's also $10 foam ones. I need one. There's the other one. What's the plastic cups? Not Tupperware. I forget what those are called too. Yeah, but they buy them left and right. They wouldn't sell. And then all of a sudden they changed the price. They did a little bit of a different marketing, and now everyone buys these things. It's like Starbucks today. Well, it's funny you say that. Starbucks is actually closing like 900 stores or some shit like that, right? Because there's so many other coffee brands out there that are starting to compete with them that Starbucks is hurting. Okay, I read an article recently, right, that they're struggling and they're closing a whole bunch of stores. I don't know if it's 900 stores. It might be like 400 stores, right? Because the market, right, the market has changed. Sarge says, the cream rises to the top. There's always be another one. That's right. Because if you're not paying attention, look, there will be a time. Grand Theft Auto 6 might be the last Grand Theft Auto that makes it for them, right? Because the next time you see Grand Theft Auto 7, it might be another 13 years, 15 years. You might not ever see another Grand Theft Auto ever again, right? Grand Theft Auto 6 might be it. So it might be the greatest game ever created and sell the most copies, and then you'll never see it again. Aku says Starbucks is struggling in the West versus Dutch Brothers. We have a Dutch Brothers over here. Fantastic coffee. Fantastic coffee. It's a little far for me, so I don't really go all the time. But Dutch Brothers, we have Dutch Brothers. We have a thing called Foxtail. There's like three other ones that are popping up, and they're like small little places that you just drive up to. They don't have a big footprint, and they're competing. And that's great for coffee, right? That's great. Starbucks had a monopoly, basically, right? I told this story before, but Seattle's Best, right? Seattle's Best, that was in like bookstores, and they had their own stores and stuff. The owners of Starbucks, there was two guys. Two guys made Starbucks. One guy sold his shares to Starbucks. right? Sold out, left, made Seattle's best, built up Seattle's best, then sold Seattle's best to Starbucks. So the guy that was with Starbucks left Starbucks, started a different coffee company, then sold that coffee company back to Starbucks, and Starbucks owned both of them. Okay, Starbucks goes around and they buy other companies up, and now there's competition around. Competition breeds very good business, and then the best wins. Everyone else loses. What will the world do without $8 crappy coffee? The Rockstar buys NoPixel server for the new GTA Online system. So this is what it is. So the other day, Bat, I actually misspoke and said that they bought NoPixel. They didn't buy NoPixel. They bought 5M, and 5M is the servers that use the role-playing stuff, right? So here's the 3D chess that Rockstar played. So years ago, I said that they were going to buy 5M and NoPixel because they would do the role-playing stuff themselves. They didn't buy NoPixel. Right? NoPixel does all the different types of mods and stuff that they do for the role-playing server. What they decided to do was NoPixel needs 5M to get onto Grand Theft Auto. Well, Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar purchased 5M a couple years ago. I want to say like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And because they did that, now NoPixel has to use 5M because they own that. So they get a percentage or whatever deal they created. So now NoPixel is going to be the role-playing official role-playing thing for Grand Theft Auto, which at some point you'll see someone else make a role-playing thing, and they'll get into it as well and try to compete as well. And that's what happens. That's what business does, right? And other people are like, they're taking a percentage, but they're not taking a big enough percentage, so we'll just leave them as is. But when they get threatened, that's when they buy them out or lawsuit or whatever else. El Nini says, we have a ton of coffee stands here in Seattle. Akku says, to be honest, I think Starbucks is going to fold in a while. Their coffee tastes like shit. Did you hear about Starbucks? They might be charging more if you ask for light ice, right? Because they're putting more product, right? They have to put ice, and when you ask for less ice, that means they're putting more product. And if you're adding more product, they're going to charge you more. So if you ask for light ice, I don't know if this is true yet, okay, you're going to pay more for less ice. You're going to pay for more. Because technically you're getting more product, even though you could take a small or tall, whatever the fuck they call it, and pour that into a medium, and it would fill up the exact same because it's the amount of ice. And you could take that medium and pour it into the large, and it would fill it up because of the amount of ice they put in. So when you buy a large, you're actually getting the amount of coffee that's still in a tall. Just putting it out there for you guys. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. This one's interesting. I saw this yesterday right before we logged out, right? Hold on, Jack says, wasn't there also a thing where they started charging for condiments like sauces? Oh, a lot of people do that now. So if you go to, there's a place here called, Hugh Magoo's, Chick-fil-A does this now as well. So you used to ask for, this is before COVID, by the way. Before COVID, you can go to a place and say, can I have some ketchup? And they go, throw a pile in your hand. They don't even look. They just grab it and they just give it to you. It's a fistful of sauces. Now you're like, what sauce would you like? You're like, I would like barbecue. How many would you like? Okay, 2. And then they're like 50 cents a piece. You're like, 50 cents a piece? We're going to have to charge you for it. It's like, isn't the $6 burger that used to be 50 cents? Now it's $6.50. Isn't that sauce included in that? Oh, no, you got to pay for that. Yeah, right. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. No wonder people like steal the salt shakers and shit from the restaurants. Sarge says, I'm already getting less product in iced coffee. What are you talking about? They want to make more profit. That's what it is. It's the same. I always respect Rockstar for hiring the person that made the game load faster. That's some badass shit right there. Sorry, unknown caller. Crowded House says, I feel so bad for these trillion-dollar companies that are suffering so dearly. Said no one ever. You gotta pay for these companies, man. You gotta support the devs. You gotta support the devs, House. Restaurants charging to use the bathroom is coming. I'm calling it now. Actually, some people do charge that. You have to purchase something at the restaurants. Actually, Starbucks. Speaking of Starbucks, Starbucks actually does this, Ron. You're not allowed to walk into Starbucks and use the bathroom unless you buy something. It's to stop homeless people from coming in, because homeless people during a COVID were going in and showering and doing a whole bunch of stuff inside the bathroom. And because people are animals, they make a fucking mess inside the bathrooms because they're washing themselves or pissing on the floor. There's stuff all over the place. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that. So you have to purchase something. And then some people give you a code, and they have to give you a code, and then you put it in. But that only works for so period of time, because if I come in on Monday and ask for the code's the same on Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, they do charge that. House says, have you seen McDonald's prices lately? I haven't. I haven't seen a McDonald's house in 24 years. 23, 24 years. I haven't walked into a McDonald's or had McDonald's since 2002. So I don't know what the prices are. Hold on one second. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I haven't seen a McDonald's. I can vouch for 30. He hasn't gone. No, I can tell you the last time I went. When I was going to Full Sail, I can even tell you the last thing I ordered. Okay. I ordered what was it called? It was a breakfast sandwich. The McGriddle. The McGriddle. That's like the pancake injected into it was like a pancake and injected into the syrup was inside the thing with the egg and the bacon and stuff like that. Right? That's what it is. And I was going to school because it was a 24/7 school. The school never closed. We would have class at like 3:00, 4:00 in the morning. And I got a 3:00 in the morning breakfast sandwich because the McDonald's in front of the school was open 24/7. It made a boatload of money because the school was there and it was constantly there, right? And I ordered a McGriddle, and I ate it, and I felt so shitty. And I used to eat a lot of these things back then, right? I ate one, and I got sick. I don't know if it was just food poisoning, it was the way they prepped it or whatever. And I was vomiting profusely. I've never felt so sick before in my entire life. And I don't know if it was a bug. I don't know if it was because of the food. Whatever it was, that was it. I was like, I am done. I am done eating McDonald's. And I have never eaten McDonald's again. So I don't go there. The only place I'll eat fast food wise, like fast food, which I actually stopped. I haven't eaten Wendy's now in like 10 months, 11 months. I don't think I've had Wendy's this year. The Wendy's by me is terrible. We'll eat Taco Bell every once in a while. But for the most part, I go to mom and pop shops. So like if there's a taco place, I'll go to the taco place that's a mom and pop shop instead of going to the fast food place. Right? The one fast food place I go to a lot is Chipotle. It's just super, super easy. So we eat there a couple times. But that's about it. I don't really go to a lot of fast food places. Mandalorian says, do you think that Ubisoft will be bought off next? Well, didn't they sell it off to a private investor for their certain brands? And everything else is still under? Aren't they two separate things? One's private and one's... Right? Am I wrong about that? Didn't they sell? Or they Ubisoft splits business? Didn't they do something? Ubisoft is spinning off a major franchise. No, that's a spin-off. No, I don't want that. Ubisoft generated $1.9 billion in sales for fiscal year ending in March of 2025, 17.5 decrease. Recent sales performance, subscription service. Yeah, so Ubisoft sold for Tencent for 25%. Ubisoft $4 billion carve-out sells Tencent a 25% stake in some of the biggest games. But they, like, offshooted it. Only these, like, 4 brands. Everything else is still with Ubisoft. And then he took his son and put him over on that side, right? So I could say yes. Like, they could sell off their other part because, remember, Ubisoft wanted to go private. They didn't go private. I remember they wanted to go private, but they didn't go private. It's going to be the new thing. A lot of companies are going to go private because they can still make a shit ton of money and they don't have to worry about the investors, like the board. Hal says Dave's hot chicken is good. I don't even know what that is. I don't think we have that over here. Salty says they created a subsidiary for them. There you go. Yeah, I know they wanted to go private. There was a lot of talk about them going private, but they didn't go private. It's because Valve, they see how much money the company makes. It's true. Valve doesn't have to show anything. And we read that article, earlier this year, Eclipse? They have like 380 employees, and they make so much money per employee, based off of per employee. They're efficient. Valve's efficient. All right, so let's go to this thing, right? I saw this yesterday when we were talking about it. Well, at the very end, we didn't talk about it. I saw it. I was like, what's happening here? Okay. So it says the AI industry's latest curse on humanity is a fake actress. It wants to turn into the next Scarlett Johansson. Okay. If you guys like what we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as a little as $5. Appreciate it. Amanda Lawrence says, is EA being bought good for gaming industry? No, it's terrible for the gaming industry. EA was already in the shitter, and now I think it's even worse, if you can imagine that. Okay. So the AI industry's latest curse on humanity is a fake actress who wants to be turned into the next Scarlett Johansson. So there she is, I guess. I don't even know if that's her. She's cute. Cute for an AI, I guess, if she's AI. Okay. Hey, I want to see something horrible. Here's an AI actress, Tilly Norwood, which is already the most anthropomorphous, then I feel strictly comfortable with the comedy sketch called AI Commissioner. Okay, so let's watch this. So this is an AI actress. Okay. The video you're about to view is 100% AI generated. No humans or bears were harmed in the making of this production. Okay, so let's watch this, shall we?
We all knew TV was dead, but thought, why not squeeze in one last development meeting?
We had one rule. No missing children, no dead women.
Remember when people said that it's going to take years, right? And I laugh at you. I laughed at your faces, okay? I said 6 months. People said years. It's amazing. It's amazing that people don't have critical thinking skills to see what's happening. And I keep telling you that this is the worst it's going to be. This is the worst it's going to be.
And no reboots of Heartbeat.
We'd pitched this beautiful comedy, two sisters running a funeral parlour in Margate. Warm, weird, very BBC Two.
Commissioner said no.
So obviously you can see, because we know, we're preemptive knowing that this is AI generated. Because it said it. It's AI generated. So you can see, like, the mouth and the way that the person kind of sticks out from the background a little bit, a little different than it would with certain, like, the background's not blurry and stuff like that.
100 better ideas in minutes, perfectly aligned to channel data, viewing figures, and optimized for the audience. The winning AI format?
I know what you streamed last summer.
An interactive thriller built from your streaming history and Deliveroo orders.
What? And who could forget the mental health format?
Britain's Got Breakdown. Audience votes on who gets therapy.
Ian Katz loved that one. I remember saying, you do realise this is for BBC Two? It tested ridiculously well, particularly among men who shop at Screwfix and women obsessed with gut health.
All made for less than the catering budget on The Bear.
It cast and budgeted itself.
Only bit it struggled with was consent in romantic scenes. We just ignored that.
It wrote the whole script. Claude 3, Gem.
Remember we had this conversation? We had this conversation, right? And people are like, I'm a filmmaker, right? I mean, I'm writing the music. The music that you hear in the morning before the show, I wrote that music. Okay? I get ideas. I write the music. The AI makes the music. I am not a musician. Okay? I'm not a musician, but I'm making pretty goddamn good songs that you would hear on the radio, in my opinion. Okay? They're catchy. That's what it is. Okay? Yet, here we are. The AI writes the script. The AI makes the scenes. The AI creates the entire thing. So why would a company hire me as the camera guy or a script writer or anybody else, right? They wouldn't. They could literally make a movie, and as long as you're entertained, right? Because you're entertained right now with video games. You're entertained with games that are broke, buggy, and unfinished, and you eat them up every single day. And I say we, meaning myself included, we're playing Helldivers. I got 140 hours in Helldivers. That game is unstable. You get kicked out the dashboard, it crashes, you freeze, a T-pose, all the stuff, right? But because we love it and play it, that's it. They already got my money, so I might as well keep playing the game, right? But the problem is when you keep buying the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, right? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take that call. What was I saying now? Oh, right. So with all of this stuff, right? All of this stuff that's happening, why would the companies make it? Well, remember, movies are $350 million, $400 million, just like video games, right? And now they're doing this because they can make it for a fraction of the film. And as long as you, right, as long as you are entertained, it doesn't matter. Like if you watch Fast and Furious with the CGI slop that's out there now, does it really matter? Right? Does it really matter? No, because if you're entertained, you're entertained. So let's continue watching.
GPT, we called it a writer's room.
It even did its own Silver Mouse paperwork and immediately got Albert certified.
What's Silver Mouse?
Just an elaborate BBC hazing ritual.
Who did it cast?
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated.
By some company called Particle 6.
She'll do anything I say. I'm already in love.
Girl next door vibes.
Like if a Sunday...
Look at this. We are screwed as a humanity. We are screwed as a humanity. Do you understand this? Look at her. She is not real. Okay? She is not real. She is 100% fake, which is a different fake than other Hollywood, right? Because there's actual real people, but they're fake. This is 100% fake. Right? Actors are replaced. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, chat. If she was in my place, okay, if this channel was 30 and still gaming, but it was a girl, this channel would have 1 million followers and subscribers. It'd be making a shit ton of money. But you got to look at this face, okay? This face, okay? She's going to make bank. She is not real. So whoever created her, if they're now copyright, do they own her? Does the AI own her? Who the hell owns her? Does she have an agent? Does the company that didn't make her because AI created her, how does that work? We are screwed as a company. We are screwed as humanity.
Rose went to drama school and got BAFTA optimized.
But can she cry on Graham Norton?
Of course she can, and it'll be clipped, subtitled, and monetized on TikTok by lunchtime.
We're all going to hell. Got recommissioned, didn't it?
3 seasons and a podcast.
By an AI commission.
And they gave her a British accent. Those bastards. Just getting you with getting you with the accent, getting you with the looks. People be like, "Oh, did you see Tilly Norwood? Did you see her new movie?" Be like, "Who? Tilly Norwood? I've never seen her in public. Have you ever seen her out?" No. Be perfect. It'd be perfect. It's almost like the gaming industry, right? That there's no more physical copies, so no one can steal the copies anymore, right? No one can take pictures of Tilly Norwood because Tilly Norwood doesn't exist. So you won't see her out and about. So TMZ won't be able to have a story to tell about Tilly Norwood because Tilly Norwood is not going to get married. She's not going to be out jogging in sweat clothes. She's not going to be at your local cafe or walking down the street, right? She will be in virtual space. Like they'll stick her in front of a coffee shop. "Oh, I just got this new thing. Oh, I just got this over here." We are screwed. Do you understand how screwed we are? Companies are going, TMZ right now is like, "Oh, shit. How do we get," like people that take pictures of celebrities, gone.
Much faster.
But hey, at least it wasn't a reboot.
Amazing. Okay. So let's go back to this, right? So, right? But buckle up because Tilly's creators, Variety, want to turn her into the next big thing. Okay. The code note as Tilly Norwood is produced by a studio called, is that Zinoa? I don't know how to pronounce that. I know the X is a Z, but itself is a spin-off of AI production studio Particle 6, run by producer Elian van der Velden. Okay, on stage at the ongoing Zerger Film Festival, Van der Velden told interviewers that when we first launched Tilly, people were like, "What's that?" And now we're going to announce with agency is going to represent her in the next few months. Okay, per Van says Hollywood is abuzz with Tilly Mania, and producers all over Tinseltown can't wait to do something with her. What are we talking about? How fucking stupid do you have to be? If you're a movie studio and you're like, "I got to work with Tilly Norwood," be like, you can make your own Tilly Norwood. You don't need to pay someone that made a fake character to work with them. You can literally make anybody you want. What are we talking about here? Are we living in an upside down world? Right? Producers all over Tinseltown can't wait to do something with her. Who? She doesn't exist. What are we talking about? "I'm going to give you $5 million to work with Tilly." Tilly doesn't exist. She's not real. You can make your own Tilly. It says, "I'll believe it when I see it. Everyone is very excited about the thing I'm selling and there's less evidence than I need to believe. AI actor are about to start engulfing our favorite shows. And it's AI commissioners, sketch shows, anything that is also things that will still have ways to go before we don't cross an Erie or Frankish. Okay. The voice line CMOD, sometimes stilted in every wide mouth movement, feels like an actor's skeleton is on the verge of breaking free from the cage of its body. Good actors don't do that, except Doug Jones. Listen, he is critiquing this like this is how it's going to be forever. The more they do this, the more it's indistinguishable to tell. Okay. The only reason that the average person wouldn't look at this and go, "Oh, she's fake." They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know the difference. They don't know the difference between 30 frames and 60 frames. You think they're going to understand? My mother-in-law is like, "Oh, look at this." I'm like, "You know that's fake, right?" She's like, "No, that's not fake, is it?" Like, right? They don't know. And as I get older and you get older, it's going to be more indistinguishable. You're not going to know what's real or fake. Okay? You have been fooled by people's thumbnails. Because you see a real life scene of something, okay? You've seen a character from a video game in a thumbnail that doesn't exist, but they've created an AI and you clicked on it. You're being conditioned right now to look at it and go, oh, and then you click it and you instantaneously forget that why you clicked on it. You're like, I clicked on it because the thumbnail looked interesting. The thumbnail was fake, okay? Like it wasn't a real place. And then you click on it and start watching this stuff, and then you sit there and watch it, right? It's going to be indistinguishable. This is the worst. And tomorrow, it'll be the worst. And then to the next day, it will be the worst. But it will also be the best, right? It'll be the best that we've seen so far, but the worst that you're ever going to see again. Okay? So it says, on LinkedIn, wrote the audience care about the story, not whether the star has a pulse. That's the AI that can prove answers, shrinking budgets, and increasing demand for content. I think he's wrong here. I think we live in a world now where we used to care about the actor, right? But politics ruined that because an actor would come out and say, fuck you, I don't like the way you vote, and then they tell you you're a bad person because you vote something else, right? They've ruined what Hollywood was. Hollywood was a beautiful thing where you were entertained, you watched television, you saw an actor on screen, you saw the character they played, and you fell in love with that character, right? You were inspired by something. Maybe you watched Luke Skywalker and it brought something to you, and then you started watching sci-fi, or you liked Captain James Kirk on Star Trek, or you watched Doctor Who, or you watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? You felt connected with this because the stories were good, but they were also real people, right? So much so that people forget that they're also playing a character. And because people forget they're playing characters, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, that was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, people actually think that she's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They look at Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. They look at Harrison Ford as Han Solo, okay? Now, what are you going to do? What convention are you going to go to see Tilly? How are you going to meet Tilly? Well, they just made Stan Lee, virtual Stan Lee. So I guess they can have a stand of Tilly in a virtual window. And you're like, hey, Tilly, I'm a big fan of yours. Oh, thank you so much. Like, what are we talking about? Right? So I think he's a little wrong here because there's something about meeting the person that gave you inspiration, right? Where if you met a celebrity in real life, let's say I always wanted to meet, God, I'm forgetting the name now, right? I wanted to meet Tom Hanks, right? Tom Hanks. I would have loved, when I was working in the film industry, I would have loved to work on a film with Tom Hanks, right? Just because I loved his acting. Leonardo DiCaprio, I would love to meet these people just to be on a film set with them. But now I can't be on a film set with anybody because obviously the characters are going to be fake. So you don't need me anymore as a camera guy. Okay. So, and I don't get to meet these people because they're not real. So there's this distinct type of thing. Why would I care if the person on screen gets murdered in the film? Do I have that connection because the story's good? No, it's sort of like NPCs. When you're playing a video game and you just take out an NPC, there's a disconnect. You know it's fake. So now if you know that all actors are fake and something happens to them, it doesn't really matter. There's no consequence in whatsoever. You're just like, this is why CGI, when we look at CGI, we're like, the CGI is bad. But when it gets indistinguishable, but you know that there's no actors anymore because the actors are all fake, they're all AI, there'll be no difference. Okay? We're going to get so desensitized and also conditioned to look at these people and go, they're not even real. So you're going to be less caring. And then so much so that people will now have real actors in a thing, and they'll be like, real actors acting. And that'll be a selling point for a movie to go see, right? Come watch this new movie out with real actors. It's like organic on fruit. You know what I mean? It says on LinkedIn, Vanderbilt wrote that the audience is also about the story, not whether or not the star has a pulse. The AI can also prove an answer in shrinking budgets, increasing demand for content. What we want Tilly to be is the next Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman. That's the aim of what we're doing. Okay, the Broadcast International, I think, is rather just to see Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman get the gigs. Okay, again, I think they're not looking long-term. Because let's say there's 100 of these Tilly Norwoods. There's a whole show. But now there's a convention. You'll never get to meet those people. Well, if there's hundreds of people being actors and there's hundreds of shows And you never have to meet those people don't make money. Those brands don't get seen more. It's just like this one big echo chamber of stuff. It's terrible. This is bad news. I don't mind if they use it in like small forms here and there, but this is what the industry is going to turn into, and this is going to be very bad. Hollywood is going down the shitter faster and faster. It's not going to take years. It's going to take months. Okay? There's already people making full-on. OpenAI is making a full-on feature film. They don't got to pay the little tokens. They are OpenAI. They can make their own films, features, everything. And it's just processing power, right? But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about AI actress Tilly Norwood? Okay. Right? Do you think this is going to take off? Do you think this is good? Do you think this is bad? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Ray says, 30. Decide, please. What is the doom of humanity? AI or Saudi? What about if Saudi owns the AI? I think AI is worse. I'll be honest with you. I think AI is worse. Crowded House said, did Robert Redford sign away his likeness? I don't know if he did. I know Stan Lee's daughter signed Stan Lee away. Did you guys see Virtual Stan Lee? Have you guys seen Virtual Stan Lee? Let me bring up Virtual Stan Lee for you. Let's see. They just had him at Comic-Con.
And
okay. I don't know what you guys think about this. I think this is disgusting, but hey, you know, whatever.
Marvel fans, this one's for you. An immersive hologram experience with Marvel legend Stan Lee is making its debut at LA Comic-Con.
Yeah, Stan Lee, the co-creator of iconic superheroes like Spider-Man, the X-Men, and more, passed away in 2018. But now fans have the opportunity.
Oh, look, it's Stan Lee. I always wanted to meet Stan Lee. So now I can. Oh, look, Stan Lee died in what, 2018? And now I get to meet Stan Lee. Oh, wait, no, it's not really actual Stan Lee, but he gets to talk to me.
To speak with the pioneer, all through AI technology.
If we could create an experience, use an avatar Stan, it isn't Stan, it's an avatar, as sort of a jumping off point, as a portal for new fans. If it's the reason they pick up their first Spider-Man book and read it, then...
I'm sorry, new fans? Are we looking at Charlie Chaplin? Maybe Charlie Chaplin should have a virtual thing too, so now we can have new fans of Charlie Chaplin.
We've done something good that day.
It's great to be back at conventions like this, surrounded by fellow Marvel fans and enthusiasts. Excelsior!
This is what happens when you have your kids or grandchildren take over your estate and they just want to make money off of your blood. Okay? This is absolutely... this is tragedy. Okay? This is terrible. Let the man rest in peace, would you? Okay? You don't need to make a Stan Lee AI. You could have just had a book about Stan Lee's life, or have a video documentary of Stan Lee's life. Not Stan Lee, fake Stan Lee at a Comic-Con and charge $20, okay, to have a conversation with fake Stan Lee.
LA Comic-Con continues through the weekend at the LA Convention.
Fucking swear to God. Jesse says Battlefield 6 live action trailer 2 days ago and mocked the old COD live action trailers. That is when you know that Battlefield doesn't know. See, they're making fun of COD, but at the same time, they're trying to, because they understand the COD players. And if you're a COD player, you might fall for this, right? Because they're going for the COD crowd, but yet they're making fun of COD, yet they're doing a COD commercial. And people eat up that shit. She can host award shows. Here's how. Michael Jackson and Tupac use 3D holograph illusions at MGM, guaranteed. They're going that route. I don't like that either. I don't like that Michael Jackson's a hologram. I don't like that Tupac's a hologram. Cool, the technology's there, right? But use it for someone that's alive, not use the person's likeness and monetize it. That's where I have a problem, right? Like if I can't make it, let's say Elon Musk, right, wants to do a talk in London, but he can't be on stage, and they do like a holographic thing and he's live wherever he is, but he can't be in London, and then he's like talking to people, and it's like projecting instead of just a television screen, it's a projection. Cool, right? But if you're using I'm dead, like, I don't know, where's Abraham Lincoln? Where's George Washington? Where's all these other people they could use, right? They're monetizing off of Stan Lee. They're monetizing off of other people. And now we're going to have fake actors taking jobs away from real actors because they're not doing the voice acting. They're not doing the actual acting. There's no filming. There's no actual sets being designed. There's no location, right? The whole industry just collapses, right? No one's making food for the people that are on set. No one's making location fees. No one's making set design. No one's filming the actual thing. There's no film actually being used anymore or cards using anymore. No one needs to edit anything. No one needs to do anything. The AI can do it all. Roic says, this seems like it would be an episode of Black Mirror on Netflix. Mandalorian says 30. Imagine an AI in Star Wars. Yeah, well, they already have that, right? Look what they did with Carrie Fisher. Look what they did with what's his name? Tarkin. With the CGI. I connect more with cartoons and actors. Yes, because it's the storytelling, right? But the people that are doing the voices behind it are actually giving the life to the actual characters in the cartoon. But now when you know that they're lying to you because you don't know if it's live action or if it's AI, okay, you're gonna think that it's real because they're not gonna tell you it's real or fake. You're gonna think it's real and then find out it's fake, and then you're gonna feel betrayed. Let's see. Crowded House says, I think Kash Patel is AI. Have you seen those eyes? He could be an alien. He could be an alien. Can't the actors sue them if they don't like it? What actor? Like Tilly Norwood's fake. Who's going to sue for Tilly Norwood? She's a fake character they've created. Right? This right here for Stan Lee, okay, is being sold by the children that are in charge of the estate. They're like, yeah, sure, you can use how much money you're going to pay me? So wait a minute. I get that much money to use my father's likeness in a AI tool, and I also get a percentage of that? Yeah, I'll do that. Actors are people that pay to do something, nothing else. I mean, isn't that the basis of anything? The person that's working at the gas station is just a person getting paid to run the register at the gas station. Otherwise, nothing else. Right? Person doing metal work is only getting paid to do metal work and nothing else. I mean, if we break it down to that, actors are doing something. A musician is getting paid to make music, nothing else. An actor is being paid to be acting. And nothing else. Jack says, have you seen the making of Indiana Jones, the Great Circle doc? It's also really good, as well as the Game Machine games. They did a really good job with it. Just it beat it, and recently got the side stuff and doing the DLC. I haven't seen the documentary of that, but I beat Indiana Jones. It was very good, but I'm not buying the DLC because I don't like what they're doing, what certain people are doing in Bethesda. Basically not giving a shit about humanity or people. So I'm not getting the DLC, but it's just my view. So when they come out and they don't agree with that person, then maybe I'll buy more Bethesda stuff. Eclipse says, people don't care. We just watched the thing that was a couple of months ago. Where's a guy was in love with his AI and he had a wife. Oh, remember? Yeah, we watched that a couple of months ago. ChatGPT. He was in love with ChatGPT. 30 actors are killing Hollywood with all this political views. They also make their half their audience say fuck that. Yeah, just that's what they want to do. So that's what they do. Sarge says we can't handle the media without the causing a massive mental illness that you also think the AI will do with this with us. Jesse says pretty soon it's going to be a real life Detroit Become Human. Yep. Let's see. Are you lining up with cash to see Stan Lee at the Wax Museum? It's not the same. But if we had a little voice box there, Sarge. Can have a person's brain set it up to the hologram AI? Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the future, man. It's going to be very interesting. What's going on, Sin? Well, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. Fucking AI Tilly Norwood. Guys, I have something to admit to you. I'm AI. I've been AI for 10 years. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm a robot. Let's see here. What is happening here? Battlefield Studio has detailed the first waves of free post-launch content coming to Battlefield 6 as part of Season 1. All right, well, let's get into this. Battlefield 6 free Season 1 roadmap revealed. New maps, modes, and weapons incoming. Don't worry, it's not free. You're paid for somehow. Okay? Titan says, why would someone make an AI with that face? It's to trick you, right? Look at the detail. I'm like Sully from Monsters, Inc. All the detail in that beard, that's fucking sharp AI, right? It's easy to make a pretty looking face, but can you make an ugly face like this? I think not. Okay? Plus, go fuck yourself. Eclipse says, I remember hearing a story a long time ago on how they're also trying to make it where you could also live forever through a computer. I think we're getting there, and we're already there. I think we're already there. Yeah, because they can take your memories. I mean, think about it, right? There's so much content of myself here, Eclipse, from over the years, that if something happened to me and my wife and my son wanted to hear my voice, here it is, right? Now, obviously, I'm not talking to them directly, but if they wanted to hear my voice, if they wanted to see me, here I am, right? Right? When you flip through your phone and see a still picture, but now you can actually have video, right? And see your loved ones. And now you can actually speak to your loved ones. We talked about this like 2 years ago when they were talking about because somebody paid. I think it was years ago. Kanye West, when he was with Kim Kardashian, he paid for some hologram or some video thing so Kim Kardashian could talk to her father. Like, talk to her father. They took bits and pieces of stuff and put it together and synthesized basically talking to her father. There for the rich, not there for the rest of us. But when they can get that down to everybody else, people would love that. People would fall for that. If they could speak to their loved one for just one, they go for the weak parts, right? They go for your emotions. There's a whole business in just that alone. Hal says, Mike, if the substance was real, would you take it? What's the substance? I don't know what the substance is. What do you mean? Is that a show? Is that a drug? I don't know what that is. The substance. Eclipse says it. I would to hear my dad again. I would. Yeah, I think a lot of people would. Right? I'll have to look it up. I don't know what that is. I haven't seen it. Let's see. The substance. The substance. The Substance, body horror film written, directed. A fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that creates a younger, better version of herself. No, I wouldn't. But then again, I'm also not an actor. I've met some, over the years working in Hollywood, I've met a lot of people that unhealthy, trying to keep up because they're trying to get that next role. And they got to be out the other person because they're getting older. They're not getting the right parts, but they want to still compete. They want to be loved again. They want to be that limelight type of stuff. So I understand why they do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm okay getting old. I'm okay. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Yeah. Spoilers ahead. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what happened in the movie. Yeah, I'm okay getting old, man. It's all part of the thing. People making all these culture mental illnesses, then go gasp when their tragedy happens. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I totally understand. Again, working with people on camera and seeing them when they were younger. Perfect example. All right, I worked on a movie called Never Back Down. Okay, what's her name? Heard, Amber Heard. Is that her name? I forget her name. All right, the one that was married to Johnny Depp. She was on that film. Okay, so when I met her, she's like 20 something, right? I think she's like 18 or something. Okay, she was nice then. No problem then, right? Beautiful girl. Okay, nice, down to earth. But then look at her. Look what happened to her. Right? Like she went crazy. Right? The industry itself, there's thousands of stories, right? Where people start losing it because they're in competition with other people. They're trying to keep up to date. They're like it's a sickness. It is. It's a sickness. Right? It's because they're not in control of their own life. They're being tossed around like a product, right? Well, Tilly Norwood, there wouldn't be a problem, right? But everyone can make a Tilly Norwood. Everybody can make a Tilly Norwood, right? Not everyone can make a Drew Barrymore. So when Drew Barrymore or Pedro Pascal comes around and everyone likes Pedro Pascal, they use him over and over and over, and they dry and like suck him dry, okay? Until you're sick of them. And then they go find somebody else, the tissue, and they pull that tissue out. I've seen so many people. Why did they make such a horrible sequel? Because they didn't have a budget, because it didn't make that much money in the actual in the films. It didn't do very well in the theaters. It went over budget. The director went over budget. We shot way too much film for that movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's like I call it like the modern Karate Kid, but then they made a modern Karate Kid. So let me go back to this. Let's go back to this real fast. All right, Battlefield 6 free Season 1 roadmap revealed and new maps. According to a developer, free Season 1 content for the game will take place across 3 monthly phases running from October to December. The first wave, which starts on October 28th, will be called Rogue's Ops. This will be followed by California Resistance on November 18th and the Winter Offense on December 9th. The third of these phases will resolve around a limited time event called Ice Lock, and which will feature a limited-time Frozen Empire State map. Okay, this list of free content. Oh, so basically, fear of missing out. You got to be in here if you guys want to play. Fear of missing out. Phase 1, Rogue Ops, October 28th map. Blackwell Fields mode is Strike Point. Vehicles Traversal Mark II, Carbine. Okay, sidearms, sniper rifle, attachments, and more to follow. So they're adding all this stuff in for Phase 1. Phase 2, California Resistance, map Eastwood. Okay, time mode, Sabotage, right? Features battle pickups. You have a shotgun, a sidearm, attachments, and more to follow. And then Phase 3, Winter Offense, limited time event map, Ice Locked Empire State, limited time event, Ice Locked, melee weapon, Ice Climbing Axe, more to follow. Okay, so there you go. Season 1 begins on October 28th on all platforms. It's amazing to me how... Isn't that the same day as Arc Raiders? Or is that October 30th? No, October 30th is Arc Raiders. October 28th was when the date was for the if the Battle Royale was coming out. I always find it funny how these things work out. Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm a big Battlefield fan. And I'm not a fan of Arc Raiders in the form that it's in because it's an extraction, but I am a fan of Embracer. Okay? Right? Is it Embracer or Embark? It's Embark. Embracer is the other one. Embark. I'm a fan of Embark because of the finals, and I like that they're ex-DICE developers. Right? I hope Arc Raiders absolutely destroys Battlefield 6. I hope the media gets covered in Arc Raiders over Battlefield 6 because Battlefield 6 is at like $450 to $500 million of the actual budget of the game, and on top of the marketing that they're doing. I hope Arc Raiders comes out and it just blows the door. And by the way, I just want to let you guys know something here. This is created by ChatGPT. Okay? This right here, this is created by ChatGPT. Do you know why I know this is created by ChatGPT? Because when you ask ChatGPT to make something for you, it always adds these little emojis in front of stuff. Okay? So this is 100%. They don't even make these things anymore. They type it into something and it makes what it is. Okay. EA recently published details on the initial Battlefield 6 maps and modes. They'll be included plus challenges that players will be able to complete to unlock rewards when its full game is released on October 10th. VGC wrote in its Battlefield 6 hands-on preview, most importantly, gunplay is satisfying, and the destruction is dynamic. Those two boxes being ticked are likely enough for the most Battlefield players. Listen to that. Listen to that again. Okay, let me read that again to you. Okay, let me read this and then ask you. Okay, most importantly, the gunplay is satisfying, and the destruction is dynamic. Those two boxes ticked will likely be enough for most Battlefield players, meaning everything else in the game, broke, buggy, and unfinished, it doesn't matter. Because they know that we know that if those two boxes are ticked, then everyone will forgive them. Everyone's okay with it because the gunplay is satisfying and there's destruction. Look at here. Look at here. Jingle keys. Huh? Ella, over here. All right, here it is. Gunplay satisfying. Huh? There you go. And that's all you need to be a successful game. Right? It doesn't matter about all the other things that are happening, or not happening, I should say, in the game. But so far, Battlefield 6 feels like much more than simply ticking boxes. We'll see. We shall see. All right? It's the Battlefield game that fans of the franchise in its prime would expect in 2025. These things sound exactly like Battlefield 5. It feels exactly like 2042 before 2042 came out and bombed. Okay? Excited to try more of it. There you go. And I liked Battlefield 6, but I also don't fall for the marketing ploys of stuff. Let the warm fuzzy wash over your brain. It doesn't matter, bro. Take my money, bro. It's fun, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. Yeah. There you go. It's amazing. All right, we got the Marvel Rivals Season 5 update.
Hello, everyone. Guang Guang here. It's great to see you all again.
Is he AI?
In Season 4.0.
Is he AI? I can't tell anymore. I don't know.
Dr. Doom's plan to seize the heart of the dragon has been delayed by...
Because the the article, the guy who wrote the article for the AI for Tilly Norwood said that the mouth opening up too wide gave it away that it was AI. So is this guy AI? I don't think he's AI.
Showlao's clever tactics. And as the Shenlong tournament preparation unfold, Daredevil is set to join the battle. Is his true goal to have the...
Are we already a month into the new season of Marvel Rivals? Jesus, I haven't played anything.
City regain its place among the capital cities of heaven, or has he...
His hands do look weird. Hold on, let's go back. Yeah, how many fingers does he have? No, his hands are fine.
City regain its place among the capital cities of heaven.
I know it's not AI.
Or has he already decided to commit a necessary evil for the greater good? Be sure to find out when Daredevil joins the Marvel Rivals roster in Season 4.5. As a duelist, Daredevil's iconic radar sense makes all evil visible.
I also dropped off hard off of Marvel Rivals because I've been playing Helldivers nonstop for the last month.
Nothing escapes his sight. In combat, he can pick a priority target based on the situation, use his agility to close.
He does look cool. I have to admit, he does look cool.
And unleash rapid attacks with his speedy clubs. When facing top opponents, Daredevil taps into the beast's power.
I have to admit, thank God for translation. I know he's speaking English. Thank God for the subtitles.
Amplifying his martial arts for even more deadly strikes. Activate his ultimate ability, and Daredevil fully unleash the beast. Any enemy who dares look at him will be gripped by fear, awaiting his cold justice. This update brings...
First of all, I think he messed up here, right? Where he says awaiting his cold justice. Come on, what? Come on, chat. What other word should they have used instead of cold? Put it in chat. Come on, I know you guys know. Right? Speaking of Daredevil, what kind of justice should he be giving? Come on, put it in chat. I know you guys know. Come on, I'll give fake points to whoever puts it down first. Come on, somebody has to know. You're not giving cold just vengeance. No, it's yes, Sarge. Blind, of course. Blind justice. Thank you, Mr. Luke. Eclipse. Jesus Christ, the rest of you, what are you talking about? Daredevil, he's blind. Awaiting his blind justice.
His cold justice. This update brings another round of team-up ability adjustment.
They probably thought about it. They're like, nah, it's too weird. We can't do that. It's too soon. Hot justice. Yeah, hot justice.
We are removing Ragnarok Rebirth and taking Namor out of Gamma Charge. 2 brand new team-up abilities are coming. Special Hunt.
I thought it was woke justice.
The fools.
And Deep Rest.
Does not lose.
Season 4.5 will also introduce an exciting new mode, with details to be revealed at the Titan Game Show on October 17th. Plus, we've prepared a...
Oh, and I realized this because I logged into Marvel Rivals a couple weeks ago, and I realized I didn't complete the Battle Pass the last time. So I'm missing the page for the comic book, right, to complete my comic book collection. And now they're charging, if you want just that one page, you can unlock it for $3 or $2 or whatever it is. And I went, motherfuckers. I don't know if you know this, but you could buy an actual comic book for $3, not a page for $3. You could buy the actual comic book for like $3, $4. Okay. In this form, you're buying one page, $3.
Special Halloween event and themed costumes, so we can celebrate this mysterious and lovely season together. We've heard the community.
Oh, cross progression. Nice.
His requests For cross-platform progression, we have made it a top priority, and it's been frantically cooking in development behind the scenes. We're excited to share that the feature is now ready. However, to ensure a smooth launch, we'll first invite a small group of players to test and provide feedback during Season 4.5, before officially launching cross-progression for everyone in Season 5.
Can I volunteer? I will love to do this for you. I don't need to be a community manager or anything. I'll just come out and read the update for you, right? I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
You will be able to link your accounts from different platforms in Settings, Other, Account Linking. Once you set the main character from one platform, you will use it across all linked accounts. You can switch your main character, but there will be a cooldown between changes. Please note, your rank and leaderboard position will remain separate for each platform. When you play on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, your career battle stats and rank are tracked independently for each device.
So why, if there's cross progression, but they're going to stay separate, why have cross progression? I'm confused by that. So if I have cross progression, whatever I pick as my main character, it links it together. So I have my Xbox as a higher level than my PC. Now they're linked. But when I go up my rank, that's separate. So why am I doing cross progression? For the outfits. Okay. I thought there would be more than just the cosmetics. You don't check the inclusion box to do any of these videos. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Eclipse says, yeah, I just don't understand why they don't get their native language with the subtitles. In fine reading, I don't know the myth that gamers don't read. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I prefer him if reading and then just having someone dub his voice or something like that. I totally get it. We said this last time we watched one of these. I'm not making fun of him in any way, shape, or form. But that's like me speaking their language. I can't, right? It's hard. It would be excruciating for me to speak like that, right? So it's like, just speak normal and then translate it. I mean, especially on YouTube, they do the auto dubbing and stuff.
To meet player demand, we're introducing home screen background customization. You can freely separate.
To meet player demand, customization, more things for you to purchase. I mean, come on, we all know that, right?
Previous season's main page animations and music, and even download high-res image of the login and lobby screens. Zhiyong is still hard at work on balance changes. Stay tuned for upcoming balance announcements and detailed team-up ability adjustments. And as always, ignite the battle.
That's exactly right, Luke. That's exactly right. October 10th. Is there a video of gameplay? There's got to be some gameplay of him, right? Playing? No gameplay? No gameplay? Nope. At least not yet anyway. It'll probably come out later today. And they have the screens and stuff. Yeah. They don't have actual gameplay that I can see yet. That'll probably come out later today. We can look at that tomorrow. Here comes the loot boxes. All this AI talk, where's better live translation for YouTube, etc., etc. Marvel Rivals really doesn't know their audience. Here comes the loot boxes with only cosmetics in. Yeah, they haven't put a video out yet. Okay. All right. All right, chat. It's that time. 12 o'clock. I know you're all sad. You're all sad, and I know it. It's okay. If you're watching this day after day, which there's only 16 likes, and there's usually 30 to 40 people that watch this. And if you haven't hit that like button, either you really hate hitting the like button, and if you hate hitting the like button, hit the like button. Let me know that if you hate hitting the like button, hit the like button. Because you're here every day, right? 30 of you, 40 of you. You come in, you hang out for a bit. If you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, right? All you gotta do is just hit that like button. It does help us out because we are when I say small channel, we're like the PlayStation Portal of handhelds, okay? Like nobody knows about us, okay? So if you'd like to get this channel up higher in the YouTube algorithm, make sure you hit that like button before I take off. I appreciate it very much. If you guys like what we do, we're here Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We're here Monday through Thursday, like I said. We just cover news stories, have conversations. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for more gameplay over on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. I have other channels, Nerding with 30. I have 30 NSG. I have 30 and Still Gaming. And then we also have our album that you can hear in the mornings and also the play out. If you like the music, go to Spotify, Anchor.fm, iHeart, Pandora, wherever music is hold. It's called Perk Up, Press Play, 30 NSG. If you search in the music programs, you can download, you can stream for free, okay, or you can purchase it, and all of it helps us out here. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Day one hype, they sell us life. Cinematic trailer, there's no gameplay inside. $60 down, what do we find? Another patch, no grind, wasting our time. We're tired of paying full price for shame. Same old cycle, we're done with the blame. Stop buying broken buggy games. Don't feed the fire, don't play the games. Go with your wallet, break the chain. Stop buying broken buggy games. The promise fixes, the patch is near. But we've heard that same song year after year. Glitches, crashes, loot box schemes. They're cashing out while killing our dreams. There are plenty of games you've never tried. Hidden gems waiting, worlds open wide. You don't need new just to have a good time. Skip the hype train, the choice is mine. It's not on us to pay for their sins. Don't let the cycle keep rolling again. Stop buying broken buggy games. Don't feed the fire, don't play the games. Vote with your wallet, break the chain. Stop buying broken buggy games. Hey! 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 We hold the power in what we choose. Together we win or alone we lose. So take a stand, don't be the fool. Make them earn it, that's the rule. Stop buying broken buggy games. We want quality, not empty names. Gamers united will make the change. Stop buying broken